I'm getting old. No, I gotta find some kind of some kind of not spooky music. I don't want spooky music. There's that soft war music. Sound good? Oh, Jesus. Soft war music. That's correct. We've got the war already about to wrap up here, it looks like. Wonderful results from the United States military. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, and Tehran's being blown up again, honey. Yeah, I guess they're not gonna stop until they surrender. Oh, excuse me. So that's where we're at right now. Fantastic. Here's the Syrian president. See him holding two decapitated heads? That's the Syrian president. What a wonderful guy. So that's where we're at right now. The war is continuing. We have... Oh, there's the school that was blown up with the little girls that were all killed. Yeah, so they're investigating that finally. Man, it is a big day. Uh-oh. What is this? What is this? The next supreme leader's been assassinated? Man, we just can't make this up, can we? There is not... They're going to have some guy... Yeah. So it looks like Private Johnson's going to be the one that's in charge of fucking Iran coming up with this capacity. That is horrifying. We're going to get a lot of backlash for this, aren't we? Like 10 years from now, there's going to be like a nuke that goes off in New Jersey, isn't it? Anyway, what's up, America? How you doing? We have some big news, breaking news, even up to the minute news when it comes to what's going on in Iran and the rest of the story. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Epstein files aren't done yet. Donald Trump is now effectively allowed to blow up Iran without any congressional oversight. That happened just moments ago. And it's looking like Kurdistan is invading Iran. That is all happening right now. What's up, Woodsman? And so that being the case, it looks like we've got some big shit heading into the around the bases here. All of it positive for the United States and anti-Iranian. What's up, Meep? So there is a lot of stuff going on there. By the way, we blew up an Iranian boat, outside of Sri Lanka using a torpedo, the first time since World War II. That's happening. And the Iranian Navy is completely destroyed as well. What's up, Meep? As well as the Iranian Air Force. The Iranians' capability to fire drones is almost completely destroyed, even though there is some left. And it's showing that approximately 86% of the Iranian military's ability to strike has been decimated, meaning that they have no ability or very little ability to continue the war, even though they are still using some missiles that they have left to try to target Israel and its surrounding neighbors. It's a fantastic situation that's going on. And Iran has launched ballistic missiles again, but they're being blown up. And Iranian missiles are en route to Tel Aviv, according to sources online. So we have a lot going on and to talk about. And I got to tell you, overall, it's been kind of, how do I put this? Meh. Hey, what's up, Nana? Finally, now check it out, Nana. They have told me, my TikTok account, they have told me on 3 occasions that they will not bring mine back at all. Like, they are just fucking assholes. So TikTok told me they're not bringing my account back. Oh, here. What happened? Her membership. Oh, yeah. Duh. Sorry. Yeah, there's been a lot of cyber attacks lately, too, by the way. They won't even talk to me about mine. That's basically what they're doing with me, too. So we have some news to talk about. We have growing dissatisfaction with the Iranian war from the American people, but it does not matter because it looks like Iran is already basically destroyed. and it's starting to get big on here. How do I put this? I kind of don't want to do this. Is that bad? I mean, now people are finally being here after 5 minutes in, but I'm kind of about to leave. Thank you, Nana. TikTok is still down in many capacities, by the way. It's really messed up. Let's go over the news for the day, though, and I'll tell you what's going on up to the minute, up to the hour. First and foremost, this just happened before I get into the news with the war. The House Oversight Committee. What's up, my friend? What's up, Joe? The House Oversight Committee has agreed to have Pam Bondi testify over why they won't prosecute child molesters in the Epstein files. So we're going to be getting that coming up. So now Pam Bondi will have to be testifying as to why we're not arresting child molesters. So that's fantastic. That happened just about 10 minutes before I started doing this. So that's number one. The second one is that Donald Trump is now allowed to continue attacking Iran. What'd that fuckface say? Shut up. Oh, suck a dick. How's that sound? Really? That's just what they do? They come on, yeah. Yeah. No, there was a guy on it. Oh, what's this? This is a giant joint with keef in it. Or is this hash in it? I have no idea. I can't remember. It's one of the two. So anyway, that's happening right now. The country of Iraq is now is in darkness. Bananas and rice. Oh, yeah. What's up, Ziggy? So we're going to talk about several stories. Pam Bondi's going to be subpoenaed to talk about the Epstein files. How do I put this? I don't have a good flow today. Ever since TikTok has been down, I'm kind of over social media. I don't know what it is. And maybe it's just me. Ever since TikTok has been sold, there's been like a light switch just off that I don't want to do it. I have met so many people on here that are just done. I know it's insane on here. TikTok's fucked, man. Oh, no, I can deal with that. And that's not what I'm saying. It's like I used to be real into the social media thing. Like actually want to do the news and all that. I'm like burnt out on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just TikTok. It's like all social media. Like my kid's on social media right now. I don't know how she can find entertainment in this shit anymore. What is it? I'm just talking about the weed herb. Nevertheless, I like social media. I like bringing people the news. But the problem is with social media is the social media companies themselves. That seems to be the problem. It's not the same as it was. Now, before I get into the news real quick, thank you, Woodsman. What's up, JS? So, let me just get into this real quick before I get into the news. Does anybody remember what social media was like back in like 2018? Does anybody remember those days back in the day, the nostalgia days? Back when like Jacksepticeye was really big and Markiplier. Yeah, it's the owners. Yeah, of course. Because they're fucking assholes. But you remember back in the day when it was like organic, before the Susan Wojcicki's and before all the bullshit, when like me and my kids, when they were younger, I'd play Roblox with them. You could live stream games. And it was fun. People would join. It wasn't regulated by click-through rates and all this other eyeballs on screen shit. Thank you, Nana. Where someone would come into your live stream, watch for 5 or 10 minutes, leave, then come back. It was a casual, fun thing. You made money, but it wasn't all about the money. Thank you, Nana. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the fucking psychotic rules for well, you can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. Rarely any ads, yeah. And it wasn't even about making money back then. It was a whole other thing. And at this point, and I'm not talking, yeah, now Roblox is a bunch of pedos. My kids don't play it very much anymore. Well, they're teenagers too and adults. But like, there was a time back in the day when it wasn't sick-ass bullshit, when it wasn't, like, I'm at this point, I'm convinced that social media companies just need to give people a list of what they can do. Because so much shit has been verboten. You can't put up reused content, can't use copyright content, can't talk about this, can't talk about that, can't do this, can't do that. Well, then just give me a list of what the fuck I can say then. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a list of what I'm allowed to talk about then. If you're going to be that assholes and you're going to suck the advertiser's dick that deep, right? Then just give me a list of what we're allowed to talk about. Because it seems like everything is an offense. And the rules are written that way on every social media platform. They're written in a way to be able to do every single thing they can. Thank you, Nana. In order to, it was so vague, it fell under this. Or it was so vague. But there's one question I have for YouTube before I get on to the news. Why is it that TikTok, you can play background music from copywritten sources and no one cares, but here they remove the content? What's up, Marine? Hell yeah. So why is that on YouTube you can't play like fucking Kickstart My Heart in the background, but on TikTok you can? Why is that? That's what I want to know. That's the main part, because that right there would ratchet this up a lot better. Yeah, and the thing is a long time ago you had like YouTube, which was all creator influence and a little advertising. You even had advertising networks like Machnama back in the day. And then it all became one or two sources, and the advertisers kept saying, well, we don't want to give money on that, or 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 that. And then eventually, no, of course not. But then eventually they would say, well, we'll start only promoting this, this, and this, and everybody else can fuck off. Then the social media company said, well, you know what? Instead of you rising naturally, we'll choose who gets to go. What's the difference between that and Hollywood then? Where they would choose, the cream is supposed to rise on every social media platform. So for instance, if you're talented, then you will get seen. And if you're not talented, then you won't get seen. But now it doesn't matter talent, it matters eyeball on screen. So if I have a monkey farting on a snare drum for 30 minutes and that's entertaining, that could get more fucking watch time than goddamn George Carlin. And it does. And then it's promoted. It's really fucking weird. And then you have AI putting into that shit, and then we're supposed to be happy with it. And you have all these tutorials online that tell you, you need to do it this way. You need to do it. Let me just put, before I get this, before I do the news, I had an AI analyze my YouTube channel and the algorithm, and the AI told me that there are 4 layers. Come live with us for 30 minutes. I can't do it. Well, there are 4 layers of YouTube algorithm. There's the first 30 seconds. There's like a hook retention. There's a third one. Then it gets promoted at the end if you share it. And if you, what else is it? Share it cross-platform. So there's 4 layers of, it was called, what did they call it? It was called it wasn't an experience model. It was called something like a satisfaction model. What's up, Dirk? By the way, did you see the Marine get fucking his hand broken at the fucking, oh my God, dude, we'll get into that story in a minute. But I need to analyze this because I have it all saved and everything. I just got on a minute ago. And so I'll have to show you what I found yesterday, because it was, when I was looking up, this right here would be a live stream in and of itself. I need to find out what I said to it yesterday, if I can. Un momento, por favor. Because this was actually incredibly insightful when it was doing it, because I was having it, was reading it in real time. And now I'm going to have to find it again. I'll do a video on it initially by itself. Excuse me. And I'll figure that out. Because it was very important. When I saw what was going on, I was like, damn. So, YouTube's growth strategy for channels. So I've got a whole list of YouTube's growth strategy for channels. So real quick, listen to this. So I had an AI analyze YouTube's algorithm and my pages. So it says the algorithm operates through 4-layer testing system designed to identify and expand the reach of high satisfaction content. For Nostalgia Man and Sup America 1, understanding this layer cake approach is vital to planning content. So layer 1, this is the YouTube algorithm. This is what an AI analyzed. YouTube's algorithm has 4 layers for viral promotion. One is called the core audience, which is your subscribers. You want an initial CTR of a high standing and 30-second retention. That determines the initial velocity and notification, right? So if you want the notifications to show up to your subscribers and the velocity, then you have to have your core audience get a high CTR near 10% and at least 30 seconds of retention time. That's actually okay. That's normal. Layer 2 is recent viewers. Those are non-subscribers or returning viewers. Those are weighted and satisfaction survey by the AI tests content against established interest groups. You see what I'm saying? So at first it gives your content to your subscribers. Then it gives your content to groups of people outside of your subscribers they believe has something to do with, like that would be interested in it. So your first group of people that the algorithm falls out to are your subscribers. The second one is ones that would like news content, if it was this channel. What's up, America? Layer 3 is the topic match layer. And that's for people, primary metrics is for session continuation. So for instance, if they look up a video about banks failing and you click on yours and then they continue the session with your videos or other content on similar shit, expands distribution of broad interest categories. Hell yeah, thank you, Dana. And layer 4 is an adjacent audience. Those are called cross-platform, adjacent audience and cross-platform sharing. So, what's up, BG? So, layer 4 of the YouTube algorithm says if it's shared across platform and also across topic audiences, it triggers a viral browser or browse placement on the home page. It says right here, quote, and this is actually news. I'll get to the other stuff. The YouTube algorithm's primary objective is to predict which videos will keep specific viewers clicking and returning. The predictive model utilizes deep learning and freshness papers to ensure that the content recommendation is not only relevant but timely. For smaller channels, the 2026 shift includes a momentum multiplier, where a single video performing above the channel's average triggers a priority test for the next upload. Click my screen twice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thumbs up. Thank you. And yeah. So, and I could get into that. It's a long fucking thing. It tells on like there's psychology behind this, because I asked it for my gaming channel on here, Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia, and it was telling me use these terms, use the term miss days, times, and back, i.e. the day YouTube changed forever will go more viral than other types of things. That it gives like viral it's ridiculous. It went into a deep dive on Google Gemini, and I asked it to basically analyze YouTube and its ability to do SEO on itself, and it brought up this, and I'm still going through it, and it was very complicated. It is not a normal algorithm like TikTok. This fucking thing is like a brain. It reads, I don't think tags are even necessary anymore. It literally reads the first like 100 characters of the description, the first like 60 characters of the title, thumbnail, and then it fucking reads your video like it's watching it like a human. And then it places it, and if it's low quality, if the lighting's bad, all this other shit. Yeah, this is how it is. This is real life now. It's basically a robotic guy telling you where to library your videos. It's fucked up. Anyway, I'll go on to another videos about that. You can't say rough 2 times in a row. Rough. What did I do? Anyway, Iraq is plunged into nationwide blackout as the United States tells citizens, thank you, Rob, to leave immediately. Thank you for the gifts. Iraq's Ministry of Electricity announced a complete shutdown of the national power system on Wednesday, with every governorate in the country losing electricity after all transmission lines and generating stations went offline simultaneously. Gee, that's not a cyber attack. A spokesperson for the electricity ministry confirmed the country's power network had shut down entirely, though the cause of the grid failure is unclear. Cyber attack. What do you want to bet? The blackout compounds what's already been a catastrophic week for Iraq as the country finds itself caught in the crossfire of U.S.-Israeli military campaigns against Iran. Fresh explosions were heard in the northern city of Erbil on Wednesday, according to AFP journalists on the ground. Pro-Iranian armed groups, including the Siryawa Awalawi al-Dam, Blood of the Guardians Brigade, have claimed responsibility for recent attacks near Erbil at the Al-Harris base, as well as the American Victoria base in Baghdad. Right after the blackout, U.S. Embassy in Baghdad issued an urgent directive on Wednesday telling American nationals to get the fuck out of the country without delay. U.S. citizens in Iraq are strongly encouraged to depart as soon as they're safely able to, and shelter in place until such time and conditions are safe to depart. Can you imagine being stuck, unable to leave, blackout Iraq? That would be like, oh, dude. You might as well just... Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that's happening in Iraq. Holy shit. Hello, G. What's up? I hope so, man. I'm telling you, follow my gaming channel, Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia. That's got 263,000. I need to start gaming more on it. I deleted all the content. Well, my wife did because we have to do it. But yeah, that would be terrible. I'm sure a lot of you have actually been in that position before, or some of you have. What else do we have here? Ground war erupts as Kurdish fighters invade northern Iran. So this is absolutely fantastic. Ground invasion starts in Iran. Thousands of Kurdish fighters I make good joints, don't I? Thousands of Kurdish fighters have launched a ground invasion in Iran, according to United States officials. The Kurdish militias based across the border in Iraq began the offensive in northwestern Iran today. President Donald Trump on Saturday spoke with the head of the Kurdish militant groups in Iraq to discuss the situation. The CIA was exploring plans to arm the Kurdish forces with the aim of sparking a popular uprising in Iran. What's up, America? How you doing, Lorenzo? Well, I'm only on YouTube now. I'm not doing live streams ever. People keep telling me to go back. I just can't do it, man. You know what I'm saying? I just can't go back to TikTok. They're too fucking horrible for live. So, the Kurdish groups are widely seen as the most well-organized faction of the fragmented Iranian opposition and are believed to have thousands of battle-hardened fighters. I'd like to give them some territory. Their entry into the war could pose a significant challenge to the besieged authorities in Tehran and could also risk pulling Iraq further into the conflict. Asked about Kurdish involvement, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth told reporters none of our objectives are premised on the support of arming the force, which means they'll probably be arming the force. So what other entities may be doing we're aware of, but our objectives aren't centered on that. Meaning that it looks like we're going to be supporting them in a third-party sense. And 77% of people believe that Kurdish forces... no, I'm not. I was 4F due to lung damage. So the only closest thing I came was potentially going over to Afghanistan, but then my wife was pregnant, and so, yeah, I had surgery, so they wouldn't let me in the Navy. And then, because I initially tried to join the Navy, and they told me to fuck myself because I had lung surgery right here. And so then I lied and tried to join the Army, and I went up there, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking. I've never been to the Navy looking to get in. What the fuck are you talking about? You must have your head on backwards. And they were like, it says you had lung surgery. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, get your doctor's approval and you can join the service. And the doctor's like, no, I'm not letting you join the service. You had lung damage. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is who gives a shit? Never been able to run more than like 2 miles because of it. So you have to do it trotting. Now, if World War III starts and some Chinese invade here or whatever, then my ass will be running 2 miles right to the battlefield until my stamina runs out and they'll shoot me to death. But I'll take a couple of the fuckers with me. Anyway, I have to just say it like that. Little pineapple grenade under the dead body. They roll me over and no, hey, there you go. We got to make it some good stuff. But my family were all veterans. Grandpa was in World War II. Uncle was in the Navy and in the Marine Corps, believe it or not. They sent him to Africa at one point. Anyway, the Kurds have battle experience from the fight against the Islamic State. I've studied history for years, though. Military history. And have a long history of grievances with ISIS and the Iranian government. During the rule of Shah Mohammad Raza, Kurds were marginalized and represented a sometimes rebellion. After Iran's 1979, a new theocracy also battled Kurdish insurgents. What's up, Liquid? By the way, why does everybody fight Kurds? Like, what's the deal here? Can somebody explain exactly like what the history of that is? Is it just because they want territory? Is that what it is? Anyway, Iranian forces destroyed Kurdish towns and villages in fighting that killed thousands over several months. While they share a desire to see the current authorities ousted, the Kurdish groups have also butted heads with other opposition groups, notably the faction led by the former Shah's son, Reza Pahlavi. I can never pronounce his name properly. Thank you, Liquid. Thank you, my friend. He was accused of Kurds of being separatists, aiming to carve up Iran. Well, that's probably partially true. When asked about the call and reports that Trump had sought military support from the Kurdish group, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said he did speak to Kurdish leaders with respect to our base that we have in northern Iraq, but denied that Trump had agreed to specific plans. I still think it would be nice if Trump would give them a, spot of land there after it's all over with. Capital city, stuff like that. Just have actually something. And stunning news today out of Arkansas. I know some of you are going to like this. Aaron Spencer, if you know who that is, has won the Republican primary to be a sheriff. And what's the county? Well, a county in Arkansas. What's up, Katie Woods? So this guy caught not caught his daughter. His daughter went missing, okay? And he found his daughter by tracking her phone because she was kidnapped. And a rapist or whatever, somebody raped her, and it was a pedo. So an older guy. So he opened the door of the car and killed the guy. Now he's been brought up on charges, and now he's won the Republican primary for sheriff of the county. So a father accused of killing a man who raped his teenage daughter has won the Republican primary for sheriff of Arkansas, despite him still awaiting trial for murder. Yeah. Aaron Spencer, age 37, secured 53.5% of the vote in Tuesday's Republican primary for Lonoke County Sheriff, defeating longtime incumbent John Staley, who received 26.5% of the vote, according to the Arkansas Secretary of State. A third candidate got 20%. As a result, puts Spencer in the unusual position of being a top law enforcement officer while also charged with murder. Wow. Fantastic. Spencer has been accused of fatally shooting Michael Foster, age 67, after discovering the man with his teenage daughter. Foster had been out on $50,000 bail while facing 43 criminal charges, including involving the girl, including internet. Okay, so the old guy that he shot was facing 43 criminal charges, including internet stalking of a child, sexual assault, sexual indecency with a child, and possession of CP. He admitted shooting Foster, but pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder. The case began shortly after midnight when Spencer and his wife, Heather Spencer, discovered their daughter missing from their bedroom in the family home in Cabot, Arkansas. Now, your mom's not a country either, but she was over here sucking this dick. The parents called 911, but soon began searching the area themselves after realizing their daughter may have been with the old man. A man police say had previously groomed and raped girls and was a boyfriend of a family friend. Foster had been arrested months earlier for charges including rape and internet stalking, but was released on bond despite a no-contact order, barring him from contacting the teenager. Heather said that she feared the worst. I tell 911 that this man may be involved, blah, blah, blah. He drives roughly 10 miles. Spencer spotted the vehicle with his daughter in the passenger seat. The father made a U-turn, pursued the vehicle, eventually rear-ended it and forced it off the road. Spencer later told police he saw the daughter attempting to escape before Foster, the guy, the chomo, grabbed her. He ordered the man to get out of the car, but Foster allegedly lunged towards him, shouting, "Fuck you," though authorities have not confirmed whether Foster was armed. Moments later, Spencer opened fire till he ran out of bullets. Oops. Wonder if he was 7 rounds or 15 plus 1. What do you think? God damn. Fired until he was out of bullets. Moments later, and then he jumped on him and pistol whipped him. He then called 911 and reported that his daughter's kidnapper was dead on the side of the road, saying he had no choice but to shoot him. Prosecutors initially charged him with first-degree murder, but the charge was reduced, of course, because it's not premeditated. His trial originally scheduled for January, but it had been postponed after the Arkansas Supreme Court recused the original judge, with a retired judge now overseeing the case. A new trial date has not been set. That's Kenneth Gann from Tupelo, Mississippi. Let's see what we got here. Spencer has framed his campaign around the case, saying his experience exposed failures in the justice system when it came to protecting children. I did what any good father would do, he said to CNN. He said, hearing similar stories from other families, he convinced to run for sheriff. I saw the things that were happening, not just my own case, but with other people that reached out and shared their stories, he said. I felt I was called to do it. His wife strongly defended his actions. What are parents going to say? Hey, 911, we called you a minute ago. Turns out, found the guy who'd been assaulting her for months, and they took a left turn on the highway. Hope you can find him. Because you kind of assume the risk was that somebody's going to shoot you when you rape a child. That's 100% correct. Tupelo, Mississippi, the home of Elvis, man. Yeah, and I do support that. If you are going to rape a child, you assume the risk of having your brains blown out. And that's what this guy did. He tried to rape a child and he got his brains blown out. What do you want from us? Heather also described her husband as devoted former Army soldier, veteran. You really should ask. You really couldn't ask for a better husband or father. Yada, yada, yada. Online petition demanding charges being dropped. Got more than 350,000 signatures. So make sure you sign that petition to get, what's his name off here? Spencer. Sorry, I'm half asleep. I don't mean to be. Aaron Spencer. So go look him up and sign. You got a son page. Are you son Gage? Huh? Oh. I've got 2 daughters. One's almost 19 and one is 15. Married congressman finally confesses to an affair with an aide who set herself on fire in a shocking scandal. Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez admitted to fucking a staffer who then lit herself on fire. Oh, okay. Sorry, honey. Toddler declared dead after drowning in backyard pool comes back to life 5 hours later. A toddler was declared dead around 6:20 p.m. on a Super Bowl Sunday before miraculously showing signs of life and coming back to life 5 hours after they died. Well, goddamn. Nostradamus issues chilling 2026 prophecies, which we always go into this sometime at the beginning of the year, so might as well take it on here. Nostradamus' centuries-old prophecies are resurfacing as followers of the mysterious seer claim several of his predictions keep coming true. Born Michael de Nostradamus in the 16th century, astrologer, which I think astrology is horse shit, is believed by some to have predicted major world events, including 9/11, attacks and death of the Princess Diana, in a book, Les Prophets. Now, of course, the devil always shows you a little bit. United Kingdom. Well, how is it over there? Did you come over on a floating door, or are you a legal person? Anyway, one passage labeled Quatrain I-26 reads, "The great swarm of bees will arise by night. The ambush, with some have interpreted as warfare drones being used by both America and to dissolve Baroda village." What, really, Topamax? Are you serious? Oh, come on. Baroda's got the sign, man. And that fucking winery that's like a round red one that has that fucking, what's that called? Cabernet Franc. Yeah, you know, like, what the fuck, man? That sucks. Know each other? Really? You guys used to work together? Holy fuck. So basically, one of Nostradamus's quatrains predicted it might be drones. So then, that's funny shit, man. So then it supports the theory of another prediction, warning of a prolonged conflict, 7 months great war, people dead through evil. Rowan, Evero, and the king will not fall. So I don't know what the fuck that means exactly. Followers believe it's a reference to a 7-month war in the Middle East. Another Nostradamus prediction reads, when Mars rules his path among the stars, human blood will sprinkle the sanctuary. 3 fires arise from the eastern sides while the west loses its light and silence. So I'm assuming, I'm not going to read it yet. I'm assuming that means the rise of empires in the east and the United States falling. Is that what it is? Because Mars was an ancient Roman god of war, some interpreters believe the passage suggests 2026 could be another year marked by violent global conflict. Well, we're already there. The predictions are resurfacing among tensions in the Middle East. More than 1,000 people have been killed already. Donald Trump claims that they will obliterate Tehran's nuclear program. And Quatrain 126 is mysterious, or I-26, whatever it is, about the swarm of bees, talking about drones used to kill people. So there's that. Let's see what we got here. Iran's last impenetrable nuke site exposed. They now know where that is, and so they're going to blow that up. Fantastic. So we have a lot of headway. It looks like the United States has all but obliterated everything. So we can get back to the Epstein files now. You hear that? Woo! Let's get back to it. Attorney General Pam Bondi has been subpoenaed by Congress over the Epstein files. Well, blonde Lucy has some explaining to do. Huh? Attorney General Pam Bondi has been subpoenaed by the House Oversight Committee to testify over the Jeffrey Epstein files. Hardline conservative Republican Tim Burchett, Lauren Boebert, Michael Cloud, Nancy Mace, and Scott Perry voted with Democrats to compel Pam Bondi to appear before the committee. The Republican Majority Oversight Committee is investigating the Epstein files and the Justice Department's handling of the case. Pam Bondi is the latest big name to be snared by the committee, which last week compelled Bill and Hillary Clinton to testify over the relationship with pedophile and his co-conspirator, I'll say it again, Ghislaine Maxwell. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Thank you for being here. The Attorney General has faced fury from across the political spectrum over her botched release of the Epstein files, including leaving victims' names unredacted while keeping some or the abusers secret. Bondi clashed with representatives at a tense House Judiciary Committee hearing last month, pointing out to the Dow over 50,000 when they were pressed on why they haven't come after anybody. Yeah, it's fucked up, man. Best time to buy Bitcoin. No shit. Bondi promised to release the files shortly after taking up leadership of the DOJ, but the first trance of documents she disclosed were already widely circulated. Pressure on Donald Trump to release the full files ratcheted up last year, eventually culminating in the Epstein File Transparency Act, a bipartisan bill that forced the Justice Department to publish the remaining Epstein files. More than 3 million Epstein-related documents were finally released at the end of January, including new mentions of Trump, as well as Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, which, of course, they want to subpoena Howard Lutnick as well, I believe. Howard Lutnick had agreed to testify after new photos emerged showing him with Jeffrey Epstein on the pedophile's infamous private island. Oversight Chair James Comer announced on Tuesday. Just say it like that. Trump said last week that Lutnick was a very innocent guy. Lutnick was subpoenaed after Representative Mace threatened to force subpoena vote against him. I still believe he probably didn't fuck any kids, not Howard Lutnick. I think there's a lot worse people. How do I put this? You've read some of the files. Mace wrote on X ahead of the subpoena vote, AG Pam Bondi claims that the DOJ has released all of the Epstein files. The record is clear, and they have not. She called the Epstein case one of the greatest cover-ups in American history and said that despite the DOJ's latest release, we still don't have the full truth. Videos are missing, audio's missing, logos are missing, logs are missing, not logos. What the fuck is wrong with me? There are millions more documents out there, and we are not getting them. The Department of Justice called those documents inconsequential. So, it's been good. What's up, Albania? So, that's what we're doing with... gotta have nicknames, man. So, I love you, honey. Despite attempts by Democrats to rein in Trump's wartime powers, the Democrats have failed. Hell breaking loose all of a sudden. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it looks to me, and this was my prediction, it looked to me like Netanyahu and Trump basically agreed to finally end the terrorist organizations. That's what it looks like to me, because the Lebanese government, I think people have finally had enough is basically what it is. And so, The Lebanese government was like, okay, we're going to work with Israel to kill Hezbollah. So they banned Hezbollah finally. Hamas, I don't know why they get to live. Islamic Jihad, Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, the Iranian state, the Yemeni Houthis. These are not good people. These are pieces of shit. I am not, my friend. I am definitely not. I will not be going to concerts, probably. I need to go to Washington, D.C., but I don't know how would that work. It'd be fun. Lincoln Memorial, sit there and eat a sandwich while you watch me. Oh, I mean, I don't know what else to do. It's a monument. Maybe there's a gift store in the bottom. I love you. There's a basement at the Alamo. There's not a basement at the Alamo. There's no basement in the Alamo. United States Senate rejected an attempt from the United States Senate rejected an attempt to curb President Donald Trump's ability to carry his war with Iran. Since Trump launched an aggressive strike on Iran in conjunction with Israel over the weekend, members of Congress have condemned the president for taking action without their approval. In a vote of 47 to 53, the war powers resolution on Iran has failed. What's up, Mabel Cat? What's up, Ruthie? So, it needed a simple majority to pass. Democrat John Fetterman voted against the resolution, and Republican Rand Paul voted for the resolution. That makes sense. The measure was pushed by Democrat Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia, Adam Shithead of California, and Fuck Schumer of New York, as well as Republican Senator Rand Trader of Kentucky. Kaine said that he prayed his colleagues would vote to end the dangerous and unnecessary war which killed 6 servicemen. We owe it to those in uniform and their families and all Americans to not make the same mistake we made in Iraq and Afghanistan. Schumer, meanwhile, described the war as a conflict with no clear objectives. I disagree. I think there's clear objectives. Remove the Iranian government, give the power back to the Iranian people. Shouldn't be that, that's really a timeline. We blow up the Iranian government. Now we have a power vacuum. The protest rises up. We choose people or have potentially, and this is kind of where I'm shaky with this, is installing a new government. So the Shah's grandson, who wants to be the prime minister of the new Iran, and that's a fantastic thing. But I worry that it's the United States and Israel installing a power rather than voting because they want a democratically elected situation. However, the Shah of Iran and his government, even though I'm sure it was just as corrupt as most of them. Hey, what's up, America? Yeah, I saw that. Mabel, yeah, I saw that. What's her name? Jasmine Crockett is no longer... and she gave up her House seat to do this, basically. So, oops. That's funny. That's funny to me. No, that's a gamble, isn't it? I actually can't believe she lost, to be fair. So, that is the Senate War Powers Act. So, now that will be utilized later on in the future. We all know that. It's no problem. I mean, it's a problem. It's no question, I should say. Damn, Andy Dick says doctor found 5 to 7 holes in his brain. I believe everybody should get a CAT scan or some type of brain test at the age of 30 to determine what the fuck is wrong with anybody. And Christy Naum is asked about if she fucked her married staffer. Christy Naum is asked about having an affair with a married staffer as her husband watches. So her husband is right behind her at the testimony as she's asked about fucking another guy that's a...
I thought you meant the husband watched her.
No, not a cuck thing. No, that's fucking sick. Christy Naum was grilled by House lawmakers on Wednesday of whether she had sex with a rumored lover and trusted advisor. I know she probably did, actually. Something about it. Like, I would love to change the country, but I don't really ever want to move or live in Washington. That just seems like they all have sex with each other. Except for, like, the old people and the real hardcore, like, Christian people. I mean, wouldn't you kind of... Like, I'm in power. I am too. Ooh. Like, it's a weird thing. Anyway, the Daily Mail has reported that Kristi Niam and Corey Ledenowski, of course it's a fucking, are engaged in a romantic affair. Both are married and deny a romantic relationship. Like, of course, married people that cheat do until they have actual physical proof, which is, I don't know, just leave the person. But tell them, don't lie to them. Niam on Wednesday refused to deny under oath. So she refused to deny under oath that she fucked the guy when questioned. So she basically said, yes, I fucked the guy, but I'm not going to tell you. So I'm assuming a divorce of Kristi Niam will be coming shortly. At any time in your tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security, have you ever had sexual relations with Corey Ledenowski? Niam responded by stating she would not respond to tabloid garbage and then called the accusations offensive. A simple no would have sufficed. So why didn't she say no? Hey, honey, have you ever fucked around on me?
No.
How's that sound?
That's an easy question.
It wasn't tabloid garbage that's offensive? So, oh my God, you should be able to answer if someone asks you or any federal official, if you or any federal official you're sleeping with is a subordinate. She fired back, it's garbage. Yeah, it's garbage because you got fucking caught up. She took questions from lawmakers during a House hearing on the leadership of Homeland Security, which has become engulfed in a whirlwind of scandals. See, this is why you don't make the head... Look, how do I put this? I know you wanted a woman to run the head of Department of Homeland Security. You shouldn't have picked the one that shot a dog. You need to pick like a big-ass lesbian to run that shit. All right, if you're going to make it a woman, okay? Like a non-fuckable... Brr! You know what I'm saying? Whatever. That's what you need to do. Yeah, something or other. Anyway, she took... Like, that ain't good. You got this chick gallivanting around with, like, former fucking Marines and shit. Dude's, like, 58 and looks like fucking... He's, like, chiseled like a bronze god. And this woman who's probably... Well, her husband looks like he works out at least. So she... Oh, God, she has a lot of makeup on. Man. Looks like she's been doing cartwheels on her face. Oh, man. Okay, well, anyway. Anyway, that's fucked up. So 2 instances of government cheating today, honey. One congressman and one Department of Homeland Security head who can't say she's not fucking someone else. It's just garbage. Yeah, got it. Okay, fantastic. Ex-Royal Navy chief says horrible but acceptable U.S. torpedo. By the way, the United States Navy torpedoed an Iranian naval vessel off the coast of Sri Lanka, and we blew it up and killed 150 guys on it. 32 survivors, 87 bodies were recovered. The other went down to Davy Jones's locker. So that's where that's happening right now. You can go check that video out. That was unclassified, not declassified. And Caroline Leavitt goes off on reporters because we had soldiers killed. That makes sense. The fuck? Iran strikes pummel Trump's approval rating to the all-time low after he said he would be a president of peace. Donald Trump has a 44% approval rating. And a top cleric issues a fatwa calling on all Muslims to avenge the blood of the martyr Ayatollah Khomeini, prompting fears that sleeper cells and lone wolf attacks are now going to start spreading all over Western Europe and the United States. It was the first torpedo sinking. I saw that video and god damn, that was like the stern of the craft was hit. So the boat is like, it's just going, you've seen the footages on dummy ships. So it's just going like this, and about this point of it, the stern of the boat just blew up in the air. You could see it just like, you could just see it go cold. And it was it. Yes, Ukraine is part of Russia, actually. Yeah, you're not going to get me with Ukraine. I don't like the war in Ukraine. I think Russia should just take all of it. I don't give a fuck. All right? Yeah, you're not going to be like one of those, like, oh, contrarian bullshits. No, I never liked that shit. All right? I know what happened after the Orange Revolution and the fucking burning the people in the election in the fucking eastern part of the Ukraine. I don't even want to hear that bullshit. They were voting and they fucking locked the doors and lit them on fire. And it's like, oh, we did nothing at all. It's like, really? I thought that's why they took Sevastopol. I thought that's why the Russians came into Crimea, as a matter of fact. Because they were like, oh, you're going to kill a bunch of Russians? Well, fuck you. And then, of course, then the Russians went too far by blowing up that theater with 600 people in it. Remember that? That was a whole fucking mess, a bag of shit right there. I don't know what the fuck is what, but come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's a whole fuck up, man. So, like, I'm trying to remember when it was. There was a time when, let me look up the date right here. When was a fire in East Ukraine government building that killed a lot of Russian speakers? That would be, well, you have the 2014 Odessa clashes. So in early 2014, there were clashes between rival groups of protesters in the city of Odessa. Thank you, Nana. This was during a pro-Russian unrest following the Ukrainian Revolution. This is why Russia is so pissed off. It was, the street clashes were between pro-unity and pro-European protesters and pro-Russian protesters, May 2nd, 2014. So petrol bombs and gunfire was exchanged at a United Ukraine rally. 2 pro-Ukrainian activists and four pro-Russian activists were shot dead in the clashes. The pro-Ukrainian protesters then moved to dismantle a pro-Russian protest camp, causing some pro-Russian activists to barricade themselves in a nearby trade union house. Shots were fired both sides, and the pro-Ukrainian protesters attempted to storm the building, which caught fire as the two groups threw petrol bombs at each other. The clashes resulted in the deaths of 46 people, most who were were pro-Russian activists. 42 of the victims had died in the trade union house. 200 injured. That's where the number comes from. So it's 200 injured, 42 dead that were burned alive. And that's where this is where a big part of this happened. And so the events were the bloodiest civil conflict since the Bolshevik uprising of 1918. Although several alleged perpetrators were charged, there is yet to be a trial. There are allegations that some police colluded with pro-Russian activists in initial street clashes. In 2015, the International Advisory Panel of the Council of Europe concluded the investigation's independence was hampered by evidence indicative of police complicity, and that the authorities failed to thoroughly investigate the events. A ruling in March 2025 found Ukraine responsible for failing to prevent fatalities and assisting in the deaths of the people that were burned alive. So that is why the Russians are pissed off, is because the Ukrainians burned a bunch of their supporters alive in buildings. And I remember it happening. I don't have a short memory. And it was a back and forth fight. They were calling the Ukrainians the new Nazi Germany. And I remember the bodies. I remember seeing them. And I was like, oh shit. And then after that, Putin went fucking nuts and was like, you're murdering a bunch of Russian people. What the fuck is wrong with you? And Ukraine was like, well, you shouldn't have been there. And they're like, but you murdered a bunch of people. And so then the back and forth and back and forth. So when Russia keeps saying, this was 2014. This was May 2nd, 2014. And so the Russians were basically saying after that. Now, when was Crimea taken? When was Crimea invaded? 2014. So hold on a second. So we have to go further before. February and March of 2014 is when the Russians invaded Crimea. So that means Ukraine was attacking. So why did the Russians invade Crimea? That's the question. Because Vladimir Putin says that they deserved it. Russia invaded Crimea to secure its strategic naval base of Sevastopol. But why? Crimea holds critical importance in the Russian Black Sea Fleet, and Moscow feared losing access if Ukraine signed a deal with the NATO. The move aimed to prevent the westward expansion of NATO and the EU closer to Russia's borders. Russia claims that that NATO moved their borders closer to Russia, violating previous treaties. So that's why. Yes, we did. Ukraine's government used to be pro-Russian. So that's what it was. So the Russians say that we have a treaty that stops NATO's expansion. So NATO treaty with Russia to not expand. So when does that go back? That was made in 1990. So the Russians are correct, and that means that NATO is violating the 1990 agreement of pushing forward or pushing eastward. And so the Russians finally said, you're violating this treaty, and they said, we don't give a fuck. So the Russians took their power, and that little bits of land that they've lost 1 million people over is enough to go into total war for NATO. Almost, even though they've been low-key, propping them up. So that makes sense. So that's a third back and forth, and the initial was the violation of the 1990 treaty. So we came to the end of that shrubbery maze right there. So it looks like NATO is the, not aggressors, but NATO should have stayed in their fucking lane, it looks like. However, whatever, right, honey? Mm-hmm. Buc-ee's gets closer to ever to liberal state, begging for a gas station. California has been begging for a Buc-ee's. The beloved Texas-born mega gas station has been aggressively expanding over the past year, rolling out ambitious plans to plant its supersized travel centers across even more states this year. While California doesn't have a Buc-ee's yet, the Golden State is officially within striking distance. The company has announced plans to open a new outpost in Goodyear, Arizona, roughly a 2-hour drive from the California border. For West Coast road trippers craving a brisket sandwich, beaver nuggets, and spotless toilets, that's the closest Buc-ee's has ever been. I want a Whataburger. Fuck you. That's my answer to that. A Goodyear location is slated to open in 2026 just off Interstate 10. Positioned west of Phoenix, the Freeway Side Travel Center will sit less than 2 hours from Blythe at the California border. Oh, I thought it'd be Baker. There is no God. There is, I promise you. It's just not at Buc-ee's. It's a well-traveled stretch of highway for Californians headed to Phoenix, Scottsdale, and destinations further east. I was always partial to Baker, California, because that's where fucking Hunter S. Thompson went in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas after he escaped and his lawyer went nuts on adrenochrome. So, it's a good movie, by the way. Well, was back in the day. The references are lost on me because I've done all those narcotics back in the day once or another. Anyway, so Tim Waltz is grilled on Somalian fraud ring. As he's asked, did you even prepare for this hearing? In which he clearly had not. Tim Walz was basically saying that he was in charge, but he didn't have information of the fraud. But he did say he learned about fraud as early as 2012, initially. But that it wasn't his part. The beaver nuggets come from its testicles and anus. Just like hot dogs. Fucking lips and testicles. Driver killed at southern border after racing through Texas checkpoint. And LaToya Jackson looks insane. By the way, has anybody seen what happened to Kelly Osbourne? What the fuck happened to her? She has got some like, I might need to lose 20 pounds, right? But you know what I don't have? Ozempic face. I'd rather lose this in my own time than whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck all that is. Holy shit, man. I saw that today and I'm like, look, I know. Look, I understand that everybody is addicted to losing weight. I have to lose weight. I think I want to build muscle and be a big punch 'em up or whatever. So my wife is like, ooh, muscles. Or whatever it is, right? But, dude, like, nobody sees any problem at all with a drug you put in your body and it causes you to just shed visceral fat that you can't get rid of on your own. And I understand being lazy. If you're just a slob, just like, you're just fucking piling cake in your fat fuck, right? And you're just sitting there eating gummy bears and fucking ho-hos and shit. Yeah, I understand. I have not. And I've seen fucking that one chick, Ariana Grande. Look, people don't like twig. They like a little thickness in a woman, okay? Most of. What the fuck is that shit? Like the not just, like, I'm used to super skinny. But this is not like super skinny. This is like bad. Yeah, it's bad. Like, I'm about to die. I'm 2 steps away from death's doorstep. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, that's fucked. That's fucked. You know what I'm saying? And it's because of Ozempic. And I say, look, do the work. Don't do fucking Ozempic, okay? Do the work. I know, like, my kid made me do fucking 54 push-ups earlier. My arms right now feel like jelly. Why? Because I was letting myself atrophy. You know what I'm saying? Probably. Because I wasn't doing shit. We've got a gym over at my place I live. I don't use it because I'm a lazy fuck. And I drive all over the place to fucking do stuff. Take my kid to college, work, all this other bullshit. So I try my best. I need to get out there. I got it. It's going to warm up coming up. So I'll probably shed a few pounds. That'll be fine and everything. Fine and dandy, like sour candy. But at the same time, I'm not going to take Ozempic, man. I don't know what the side effects of that. There's a movie coming out or a series coming out where the guy has like an injection that makes you hot, but you become like a serial killer and shit. Are you kidding me? I'm not. I don't care, because that's not like hot. Yeah, Jim Carrey looks like he got fucking stung by bees. I don't know what the fuck that is. Like, I know people say, oh, he's a clone and everything, and I wouldn't put it past it, man. He's not the same cat, dude. You know what I mean? That's just what it is there. A church sparks fury with new policy that welcomes loud children. Also, in another video on TikTok today, a man gets pissed off and demands that the child next to him, 2 years old or 1 year old, gets thrown out because his ears were sensitive. And started a big fuss and a ruckus. Started an Uncle Ruckus. Donald Trump poised to order scandal-plagued Republicans to quit dramatic Texas Senate race. And war hero Dan Crenshaw outed in brutal MAGA purge after daring to cross Donald Trump. Now, we've heard a lot about Dan Crenshaw in the past. A lot of people say he's betraying his veterans. We've heard a lot about Dan Crenshaw with the guy that has the podcast. What is his name? Is it Sean Ryan? Don't quote me. I can't remember his name. But he's got something with against Dan Crenshaw, because Dan Crenshaw has been living high on the hog and not listening to his fellow servicemen, from what I understand. Texas Congressman Dan Crenshaw, I wish, what's his name? Dirk Diggler was here for this. Congressman Dan Crenshaw was outed as a primary by the state legislature following bruising clashes with MAGA Republicans during his time on Capitol Hill. Crenshaw, a fourth-term congressman representing Texas, Houston area, 2nd Congressional District, and former Navy SEAL, was defeated Tuesday by State Representative Steve Toth, according to the Associated Press. The stunning defeat is also a victory for Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who last week came out against Dan Crenshaw. Fantastic. An ordained pastor, Thoth, a businessman who owns 2 pool maintenance companies, has come after Dan Crenshaw for not being sufficiently conservative, as well as being too focused on international affairs. That is correct. President Donald Trump endorsed every House Republican running for re-election in the first primaries of 2026, except Dan Crenshaw. Governor Greg Abbott also declined to endorse Dan Crenshaw. Very fantastic. He's raised eyebrows last year when he was apparently caught on a hot mic threatening to kill former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. Thank you. I am not from New York, but I did take the picture. I love New York. There's nothing better than New York. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't care if there's a homeless person shitting in a trash can, and then 30 minutes later, another homeless person starts eating out of it. And you know what happens. But there's something about it. I don't know if there's... Thank you, Nana. There's something about it. There's always something to do. I don't give a fuck if it's 4 in the morning. Dude, I was eating passion fruit donuts, empanadas, passion fruit pie, Chinese food down in Chinatown. I need to go to Chinese medicine places, but I keep forgetting, or we just don't go, actually. I don't know why. For us, bro, daughter... Oh, okay. And so that's, yeah, it's a good time in New York City. So, like, everybody, well, it's liberal. Of course it's liberal. Of course it's liberal. They have a high concentration of, like, okay, so let me just put it to you this way. Let's say you're a conservative and you like punk rock music. What would you say the voting demographics of a punk rock concert would be? I'm going to say 92% liberal, correct? And it's the same thing. And why is that? Because people act a certain way when they live in a city. They have their own way about them, but they change their personalities slightly in order for survival. So, for instance, if you go into a Somali neighborhood, you will try to emulate or adopt what little markers you can see, if you have any intelligence at all, in order to survive not being ousted. If you just come in there and you're like, well, hey there, partner, it's not going to work. You even have people that occasionally, like if you live in a place long enough, you'll start to adopt an accent. That's just how it is. You say, well, I don't really want to. You take on the mannerisms of people for an unconscious survival mechanism. It happens. People don't realize that they do it. When you're in New York City, you have a grab bag of everybody, but you also have you have to have a confidence about you, but they also have a liberal leaning because they know if you're conservative in any way and you publicly show it, then you will definitely be fucked with. And on top of that, like, you don't know people in New York, man. These people are fucked up. You know what I mean? New York people are fucked up. Sometimes, not the people that live there. I'm talking the crazies, the Deshans that are out in the street. Like the people that are, seeing people, talking to voices, shit like that. That type of thing you got to watch out for. So it's one of those things where you're
falling out in the middle of the road.
Yeah, we were out in front of Madison Square Gardens, and there was a traffic jam out in front of Madison Square Gardens, and because there was a concert or whatever the fuck was getting out, and 3 lanes in or 2.5 lanes into traffic, there was just this black dude standing up, falling out in the middle on fentanyl in the middle of the road. So the guy this black dude, he's probably my size or whatever, standing 2 inches in front of a car. He's just like, and he's like, you ever see like a video game glitch where it sits there and it might like move a step forward, then a step forward, then a step forward? The dude was doing that in real life on fentanyl, falling out in the middle of the street right in front of Madison Square Gardens. So we were like, oh, okay, well, that's fantastic. I have seen some shit now in New York City. It is not just with my wife there, but before when I've been there with my friends. The first time I took my wife and kids to New York City, we got the guy in Times Square. Yep, we got the guy in Times Square wearing a green thong leotard, like Borat, wearing lime green stilettos, twerking at Midtown. So the guy's just sitting there. He's taller than me. I'm 6'2". He's taller than me in stilettos, and he's sitting there twerking at traffic in with only the nuts and berries covered. Every other thing out there. Am I right? It was a good time. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen the scary Halloween mask. We saw the guys fighting over a bike. I've seen bike theft when I was in New York a long time ago. I've puked in a gutter, shit-faced in New York City before. That was a long time. I lost a car so long, I didn't even know what I was doing. Like, I was with a friend in New York for New Year's, and we got so fucked up. Like, he passed out on the street. This is when I was like 21. He passed out on the street, and I was like, I'm going to go find the car. And I found it 5.5 hours later. My wife knows, how long did we lose the car, even when we knew where it was?
Oh, we walked right past.
We walked right past it, twice or something like that?
No,
did we just...
it once, but we got about 2 or 3 blocks down the road, and it's like, we didn't park this far.
Yeah, we're just, yeah. So I lost a car for 5 hours. Finally got the car, had no clue where he was. So I slept in the back seat until I wore my liquor off, opening the door occasionally to puke in the gutter. Then I started driving the car around, probably illegally, because this was back in 2004, by the way. And, I called my mother, because I was like, I don't know where my friend is. You probably need to, because we were all adults, but it was like, when none of us had cell phones, it was all pay phones and shit. And we're like, okay, if he calls you, whatever. And she was like, well, go to this hotel. I was like, okay. So I went to this hotel I had stayed at many years ago because I knew as a point in the city. And when I got there, he was passed out on the chair in the same hotel just randomly. It was just a totally random thing because I guess it was the only place to have like a waiting lobby or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? Where did you go? And so he said like an hour later, he woke up with an Asian family over him, trying to nudge him awake. He ended up getting up, saying a bunch of racial slurs to him. And then he got a cab to LaGuardia because he was going to fly home. When the liquor wore off, he didn't know what he was doing, nor did he have money to. And he didn't know because he woke up in a bathroom shitting in a urinal. So he was so drunk he was shitting in a urinal. So that was 2004. Fantastic. Let's get back to the news. Sorry about that. Shocking moment. U.S. Senator leaps to eject a screaming Marine in uniform. A Republican senator restrained an ex-Marine, you're never an ex-Marine, who came to the Capitol, unless you're dishonorably discharged, to protest Donald Trump's strike on Iran. Tim Shealy, a former Navy SEAL, sprung into action on Wednesday when Brian McGinnis interrupted a Senate Armed Services Subcommittee hearing. McGinnis, a Marine running a third-party campaign for Senate in North Carolina, denounced the battle in Iran as a war being fought for Israel. Yeah, it was New Year's. I've only been that shit-faced that once or twice or 3 times. Israel is the reason for the war. America does not want to fight, he said. America does not want to send its sons and daughters to die for Israel. Your inability, and he went off. Shealy joined the Capitol Police to remove McGinnis. At one point, is held up against the exit door after McGinnis was finally removed. By the way, he got his hand broken. I was what, 23 years old, 22 years old. You know, get a fucking life. I'm 43 now. Capitol Police were attempting.
He's talking about your and he's talking about Jimmy.
Oh yeah, no, Jimmy was even worse. I shouldn't have said his name. Sorry, SLD. Oh, sorry, I didn't know it was you. Oh my God. I'll tell you more about him in a while. I'll just put it to you this way, SLD. He's got white devil tattooed on his things here. One says white and one says devil. It's a long story. Believe it or not, those people were better than the ones I used to hang out with. Yeah, I'm serious. I came up now. What's up, Gooner? Gooner? Anyway, sorry, SL Davis. You're still awesome, obviously. So what do you think about a Marine being thrown out trying to protest? You know what I'm saying? Amish mom drowned her 4-year-old son to give him to God, but she won't go to prison. Well, why would you drown your son to give him to God? He gave him to you, idiot. The fuck, you know what I'm saying? What's up, England? Let's see. Whoopi Goldberg mounts fresh defense of Bill Clinton. That's fucking weird. And Machine Gun Kelly is continuing to fuck Megan Fox. Dude is so tattooed up now, he has a permanent black shirt on. See? See the tattoo? Yeah, he has black tattoo. Honestly, surprised, man. Well, that makes two of us. U.S. track star who lost her national title after being taken the wrong way by hapless officials learns her fate as probe reveals shocking reason why it happened. Let me guess, she was drunk, wasn't she? More than 36 million pounds of rice and ramen noodles sold at Trader Joe's are recalled after customer finds glass in the ramen noodles. Jesus fucking Christ. Has anybody noticed there's been a lot of glass, plastic, and foreign objects? Oh, sure you do. In the food recently. Has anybody else noticed that? And the CEO of Ring sparks outrage by claiming that Nancy Guthrie would be found if more people bought Ring cams. Man, what a fucking douchebag. Arkansas mom kills herself at a mansion where her twin 6-year-olds were murdered after abusive doctor's husband refused to halt a divorce. So the kids were murdered and then the husband divorces her. Is it like... That dude's fucking kind of a piece of shit, don't you think? I mean, like... United States test launches nuclear-capable missiles, and Trump's CDC issues travel advisories over multiple tourist destinations over the spread of polio. Urgent travel warning for more than 30 countries for polio. Really? Oh, that's fun. I thought we eradicated that shit. Most of them... Oh, of course it's Spain, honey. So the countries with travel advisories for polio are Central Africa, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Papua New Guinea, and of course the countries in Europe that have been taking a bunch of migrants. Germany, England, Spain, Nordic nations. It looks like Poland too, which is unfortunate. So it looks like polio's been spreading. Symptoms of polio are high temperature, extreme tiredness, headaches, being sick, stiff neck, and muscle aches. My great aunt had polio. She had a withered arm most of her life. Personality tell it what? What's embarrassing about her? About who? What's embarrassing about who?
Mhm.
Tell me what's embarrassing. Whose demonic behavior? I've lost all what's going on here. Israel's war in Iran depends on elite commandos. Where there is some evidence that Israeli troops are in Iran right now.
Oh, she said Megan Fox is from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and she said embarrassing.
Oh, really? No shit. Megan Fox is from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. I did not know that. Well, Machine Gun Kelly, I will say one thing. They are saying that Machine Gun Kelly actually raised his children right, though. So I can say that. I can't, his daughter's at least kind of normal. Iran's war disrupts global ocean freight and air cargo supplies. And Operation Epic Fury is now a major win. And the Iranian government that's still alive thanks Spain for helping them against America. You hear that, right? So the Ayatollah Khomeini regime thanks the Spanish government for their assistance against America. I think I'll make a video about that on TikTok. The Iranian Islamist regime thanks Spain for helping against America. Well, what a bunch of fuckbags their government is. Attempted Trump assassin killed. Really? Oh, I wonder how that happened. Must have slipped on a banana peel in jail, huh? And NATO downs a missile heading to Turkey. Nice. The United States kills an Iranian official who plotted a Trump assassination attempt. Oh, that's a shame. And Jasmine Crockett concedes defeat. Cancer rates are surging. A groundbreaking treatment offers new hope. The hidden epidemic of cancer, of microbiome shifts, and lifestyle and diets, ultra-processed food, obesity, and sedentary lifestyle has increased cancer rates 1.1% annually since 2005. The hidden epidemic among young people. However, the tragic death of the Dawson's Creek star James Vanderbeek at just 48 is bringing attention once again to a growing increase of cancer. Yeah, you need to stop selling us cures and actually cure the fucking thing. Right? These companies spend, like, for instance, $5 billion on marketing and $1 billion on research and development. That needs to be the other way. Right? If you literally say we're spending 5 times the money on marketing than we are on research and development, you have your priorities up your ass backwards. That's fucked, and cancer can be cured if we put as much money into fucking goddamn curing it than we do fucking, what do they call that? Yeah, marketing. Where's SLD? Did I piss him off?
I don't think so.
Is SLD still here? Did I make you mad? I'm sorry. About 40% of people will be diagnosed with cancer in their life. 40% of people will be diagnosed with cancer in their life. My wife's son just got over cancer, by the way. And my cousin, who I don't talk to because she hates me due to my politics, apparently, her stepdaughter's in hospice from incurable cancer. Cancer rates in people under 50 have increased approximately 30%, 28% in the last several years. And the pharmaceutical companies are now being pushed to do something. Oh, thank God. Okay. Good. I didn't piss you off. I hope I didn't piss you off because I wasn't talking to you, I promise. And a new poll shows that a majority of Americans want illegal immigrants sent home. 57% of Americans say they're sick of footing the bill for illegal aliens, and they want them to return back to their home nations. Hegseth says the United States is winning decisively without mercy. The Iranian government's Navy, Air Force, and most of its missile sites have been completely destroyed. Over 2,000 targets have been blown up. No, the day ain't over. Day ain't over. It's only 9:30. So don't fucking count your chickens. Israelis flying U.S. built stealth fighters shoot down an Iranian jet. And I already talked about us blowing up a, what do they call that? Surface vessel in Sri Lanka, off the coast of Sri Lanka. The United States is also working with Ecuador to stop narco-terrorism. That's a new one. And Trump's electricity prices. What? Okay, so hold on. First of all, Scott Bassett says global tariffs of 15 will likely rise to 15% this week. And Trump says, and this is bullshit, electricity prices in many communities with data centers will come down. That's the biggest fucking crock of horse shit I have heard in decades. That is the no new taxes. That is bullshit ass shit. Stepping in the bullshit right there. And Americans are not comfortable living freely in America now. Sure they are. But there is a weird vibe in America. Okay, so Ayatollah Khomeini's son, possibly to take over and get blown up next. And Socialist Prime Minister of Spain hits back at Donald Trump, embracing neutrality, declaring no to any war. Oh, AI generated. Oh, so listen to this. This is fantastic. If you're a YouTuber, and I know we all hate AI shit, but listen to this. AI generated art can't receive copyright protection after the Supreme Court declines the case. This is humongous because everybody's made a fucking change face video that's gotten a copyright claim on YouTube that you had to delete the video or fucking not be monetized. The advancement of AI-generated art suffered a crucial blow this week with the Supreme Court left in place a lower court's ruling that such work cannot be protected. Thank you, cowgirl. Hell yes, under U.S. copyright law. The original plaintiff, a computer scientist from Missouri named Stephen Thaler, appealed to the Supreme Court. Thank you, my friend, for the gifts. Thank you. After a lower court upheld a U.S. Copyright Office decision that AI-created visual art issue in the case was ineligible for copyright protection because it did not have a human creator. Let me give one of these. There it is, right there. AI art cannot be protected by copyright because it does not have a human creator. So you know what that means. You know what that means. Time to steal AI commercials and their characters and use that shit in order to make some motherfucking content on my other page that you need to be following, Wu Tai One Nostalgia, that I'm trying to get monetized. It's got 63,000 followers, and I got a play button, but I'm not monetized, and I need to go over there. So watch my videos on Wu Tai One Nostalgia. Me and my wife deleted most of the content because it was stolen, but we're going to put up non-stolen content in an attempt to finally get it monetized. Wouldn't that be the tits on the bowl if that happened? Yes, tits aren't on the bowl, so that's why it would be a thing. So that is absolutely fantastic, and William Shatner is still the most eligible bachelor. And that's it. Zelensky is worried Zelensky is now worried that the world will forget about Ukraine and stop donating missiles. Just come to a fucking agreement, you little cokehead troll. Jesus fucking Christ, I am so sick of goddamn President fucking fucktard Zelensky. All right? How many billions of dollars, millions and billions found stuffed in fucking drawers, literally. Fucking multi-ski resorts, lodged, all this horse shit. Well, I don't want to make a deal because the money train will run out. I know, you'll have to end the war and run a country like a real man. Wow. No more partying with Emmanuel Macron, little fucking panty waste. Sorry. Shoot, lifting, thieving ass, punk bitch is what this is. How much money have we given you? Well, we're going to defeat the Russians. No, you're not. Shut the fuck up. What, is Ukraine going to be living large in Moscow? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to have the Ukrainian tanks rolling into Moscow? I doubt it. You couldn't do that with fucking a map and a Sherpa guide. So what the fuck are you talking about? Not them, just Zelensky. Anyway, so it's 9:30. That's about it. News is what it is. We're here. We're not queer, but we're close. South Park. Oh my God. And that's basically what's going on right now in the world. I'm not going to show the Iranian footage. We did that yesterday. But the news, I don't know, man. I got to tell you, like, what is this? Trump says Iran would have gained nuclear weapons in 2 weeks. Somehow I don't believe that, since Netanyahu said that Iran would gain nuclear weapons in 2 weeks back in 2020 or 2010. Or maybe even earlier than that. Or maybe it's just because they kept blowing up that they didn't get them. Ooh. Anyway, so that's the news. So thank you, Nana. Sorry I started out. I don't know, like, I've lost my spirit to do this. Kitty, they took the kid. I don't know what it is. Damn, that sucked, man. Yeah, chemo, dude. Damn, Marine. Oh, yeah, you told me that. I forgot about that. You told me about the chemo. But it's just something about social media. Like, I like going on and doing this. I like telling the news, but, like, I don't know. You do realize, and I don't know how else to put this, they have removed, because of my banned accounts on TikTok, they have removed probably 10,000 pieces of content from me. Just removed it. I'm talking footage I made for when we were in New York on vacation. You know, plans for the new kid. Well, that's another thing, too. Well, and that's the thing. It's like the government, that was a big thing. Like the Epstein files and everybody is just like, well, your whole government's pedo kid fuckers. And it's like,
your 50-point government.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should do that tomorrow. You're right. Because, well, I might, yeah. Well, either way, I'll still be on. But I might just do that only. Just make a live stream called My Government. What do you think? Never done that before on a live stream. Anyway, so yeah, chemo killed my, yeah, chemo kills a lot of people. Thank you, Alabama. Or thank you, Albania. So, I don't know, man. It's just, it's like, I'm still angry at TikTok because, like, I already know their moderators are a bunch of fucking dick sucker fucking assholes. Like, they're really pieces of shit. All right, so just a quick tiny allegory. TikTok, the moderators that trained the AI to do what they're doing to all you. I have a quick little thing for anybody out there. Just look up TikTok Trust and Safety Team. And employees. And there are certain images out there. Some of them are protesting that TikTok stole from them, which they did. But basically, TikTok's Trust and Safety Team, when they were training the AI, looks exactly like the AI operates. And so there's these people out here that they were fired from TikTok after they trained the AI. So when you look at the image of it, you see a bunch of hardcore leftist, violent people. You see a bunch of soy boy bitches. You see a bunch of obviously Islamic people that hate white people. Clearly, you can just tell by the way they operate. So, well, what do you mean? You could just see it. They have that look about them. I don't know how, like that Karen. Free speech isn't really free speech if you're offending someone. The blue hair, like it is there is something wrong. Anyway, bottom line, that same trust and safety team trained the AI of TikTok. And then TikTok fired all of them. So the trust and safety team were German. They were German. And then they were replaced by an AI after they were fucking trained it. And so there's a lot of big, fat-ass liberal lesbians, a bunch of gay guys that are there sporting rainbow shit. It basically looks like the people that trained the AI for TikTok looks like a fucking, like, liberal fucking No Kings protest. Okay? And so that AI was trained on TikTok with a very hard leftist, violent against conservatives system. And then they fired all of them. So the AI is basically a communist group of communist fuckbags that believe any type of right-wing speech is violent. I struggle with YouTube lives too. That's why I don't go horizontal. Vertical seems to be up and down. But I do have this...
Vertical seems to be up and
down. Vertical... Oh my God. Vertical seems to be the correct way to get more viewers. Horizontal is very difficult. It's side to side. And diagonal streaming is just out. Oh my fucking God. Nevertheless, vertical gets you more views, it seems, and a lot more watch time. Horizontal is like a sun. Yeah, horizontal views gets a lot of monetization and hours later on. I love you. So I'm utilizing an AI to scan YouTube's algorithm, and I have an incredibly complex.
I'm sorry.
No, your system of things to go through in order to get this to work. So you gotta make it. Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh, you're killing me. I'm sorry. No, you're okay. No, keep it going. I don't care. Oh man, that is. I'm just 19, but I think like a philosopher. Oh, good. Thank God. So I will say this: if you're a philosopher, and I knew people that studied Greek philosophy in Australia, particularly one guy in Brisbane whose family was from Lismore. Always remember, democracy killed Socrates. Always remember, democracy killed Socrates. That is about as far, like, that's all you have to know about democracy, baby. We should go diagonal tomorrow. Can we go S pattern? You know what I'm saying? Zigzag, yeah. Oh my God, we need to smoke more weed or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe less, I don't know. Anyway, so sorry about that. Y'all are so much fun. We try our best.
Oh my God.
I love you.
I love you.
You don't think I'm like retarded now? Okay.
Because it took me a minute.
I went to grad school. I promise I'm not retarded.
Vertical seems to be more up and down, and it's like.
It's like I don't even know words at this point. It's just like. Oh, you guys are awesome. Anyway, so subscribe to my gaming channel here on YouTube, Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia. That has 263,000 followers. Definitely. Follow me here. Subscribe here, of course. And then follow me on TikTok, Sup America and Sup America 2, isn't it?
I don't know. I think so.
Sup America 2, something like that. And then I'm on X at Sup America also. You can follow me there. And the same old shit. Fuck. Sorry, I took magnesium. It actually makes me want to fall asleep finally. Wow. My nervous system needs some great things. Thank you for being here. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit the notification button. I'll be more serious on the news. I should be, but I always get, we do fun things, We need to make a comedy show. It'd be a lot better. I'd have to get more shit-faced. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. If you don't like me, block me and go fuck yourself as always. And if you're rich, I have a Cash App and a Venmo.